Yellow. When I saw the tremendous resentment and ridicule Anthony Joshua faced, in my heart, I knew Anthony Joshua was being crushed by the weight of it. He had to have been. On top of that, Anthony Joshua's defeat completely shook up a societal narrative. You see this prime aesthetics, physical Adonis of a man, the pure depiction of strength, present before Andy Ruiz, a much smaller fighter who was heavy for different reasons. A lot of people, when they saw Anthony Joshua lose, they just couldn't believe it. If you were stuck in a bar fight and you didn't know who either of them were, but you still had to pick one, I guarantee you would choose Anthony Joshua over Andy Ruiz. That is just the reality. If you had to guess off of appearance alone with no other knowledge, never, no, everyone would pick Anthony Joshua. But nonetheless though, I've stated this from the very beginning in my work. Mass times acceleration equals force. Even if you're a fighter with a higher body fat percentage, if you know how to leverage your mass quickly, you are dangerous. Anthony Joshua eating nukes from our committee. He was defeated at end. Many had counted out Anthony Joshua after that. I did make work knowing that he could win, but seeing his transformation was something else entirely. Under a world of ridicule, you heard nothing from AJ. Not one excuse, not one justification. Instead, he's just reflecting on the information presented and worked with his team to best implement a strategy that would make sure that it just will not happen again. I'll never forget what AJ had said post-fight.
Andy just beat me. Credit to the man. He beat me fair and square. He's a great fighter, a great champion. First ever Mexican heavyweight champion. You know, he has something special about him. That's all. I just got beaten by the better man, and it shows that we're just as good as each other. You know, he beat me, I beat him, and we move on.
What did you and Ruiz say when you guys had that moment in the ring? You guys kind of hugged, talked it out a little bit. What was that? What did you guys say, and what was that moment like?
I said, never give up. I just told him to never give up. I realized that chasing that fight wasn't playing into my benefit, so I'm just gonna let the path take its course. I've got great people managing me.
The humility and mental strength recognize the truth is a very rare aptitude. Most people really hate that feeling, yet Anthony Joshua, he made it look so simple. He made it look cool, easy. Like losing his undefeated record wasn't even that big of a deal. That all he had to do was make an adjustment. This is why Anthony Joshua is a champion. As a boxer, he may look like he's just this physical specimen of a man. He's just his physique, his natural physical gifts. But there is a truth beyond that. The truth being, he's a student of the game, a student of himself. Emerging from that humility came forward a very different Anthony Joshua, a completely different man. Using the end of his rage, maintaining his distance, circling, touching Ruiz, tying up to reset back in his space. What Anthony Joshua did wasn't, of course, the most thrilling. He essentially used the rules and his attributes to force a decision win. Of course, he did have some moments where he did commit a little harder, but overall, reflecting hard on the level of respect Ruiz had earned and adjusting his game to what he needed to do in order to ensure his own victory. It's as Elon Musk had said, starting a company is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. Sometimes in life, you just have to do things you don't want to do in order to continue doing what you love. And even then, you still never really know a certain outcome for sure at the end of it. This is what Anthony Joshua highlights in his poise. And for sure, it is an example every man can learn from, regardless of arena. You are not your failure. You are not what happened to you. What allows a human being to consciously tower over other forms of nature, it is our ability to change. Thus, you are not a circumstance. You are the ability to change. That's why complaining, it hits such a strong chord with us men. It violates the instinctive programming our ancestors reinforced over the millennia. We survived the wrath of nature because, instead of complaining, when we needed to change, adapt, overcome, we did. That's why we are here now. That is why you are here now. Today, because your ancestors took on that adversity head on, that is what Anthony Joshua is a physical representation of. Not clinging to a circumstance, a failure, but Anthony Joshua. He instead acknowledged the truth and took responsibility for it. You are not where you are. You are not your circumstances. Do not be ashamed of whatever you're going through. Because I promise you that the ancestors encoded into your very being survived much, much harsher. You are the byproduct of enduring and overcoming constant suffering. And it didn't happen dwelling on a circumstance. It happened because out of all the other creatures roaming the animal kingdom, we were just the best at handling change. Until next time, peace.
It's the end of the last ice age. Our ancestors have survived this freezing desolation for 25,000 years.